did some chores. I had to have my hair pulled back for them because they were getting in the way otherwise. And yeah, needless to say, I'm a little tired, so I'm going to try and get the last of the gunsmith calibrations done, and these Leviathan. I'm hoping by completing the reputation earnings that I'll get a pattern from this season. I mean, I imagine since the last season's weapons are exchangeable with Brill engrams, that it's going to be possible to do the same with these patterns as well, meaning that the Crown of Sorrow will probably stay at the helm for a little bit. I haven't read anything about it. I'm in the wrong armor. I'm gonna die. Actually, let's go this way. So yeah, back to first. I think we're going to go ahead and do the gunsmith calibrations, which would be scout rifle, sword, and trace rifle. So I'm going to want to have this guy on. I'm not sure the peace of mind is really going to be worth it. Like I said, it's been very hard for me to fall in with rocket launcher. We're going to do sword ammo now, not glaive. Where are you, sword? There you are, sword. Um, it's been hard for me to want to chase the patterns like I was. I was so on for it, and then I realized as I was looking over my equipment that I still fell into using the same pieces that I've been using for the last year and a half, with no significant upgrades uh, to be had. So I'm kind of wondering, is it worth it? Um, powerful friends, with a. I'm wondering if it's worth it, and I don't really think that it is. I'm not finding any value in the patterns, in the pattern pieces. Like I said, I built the Ragild. Um, as a shotgun, it's okay. I mean, personally, would I prefer to play with Fellwinter's Lie? Yeah. Mainly because that'll fall into a position that is a lot easier for me to use it with. Not and you know not entirely you know um, I'm not. I mean, yeah, I don't even know how to fucking find the Fellwinter's Lie anymore. I guess the big bonus for crafted weapons is that you know you're going to get what you want. You know you're getting something. You know you're going to get something. It may not be what you want. Um, and but this, yeah, what's turning me off as usual with this game, or with any activity, really, with any game, is the struggle. I know a lot of people run around with the saying that nothing worth having ever comes easy, but you kind of have to. I mean, I'm all for putting in the work. Like if I don't want a spare tire for a belly anymore, I know what I need to do. I know what to do. I trim down on my calories, which I've already been doing that. Um, get more exercise, and maybe engage in some crunches here and there, and but not punish myself, because that's the point. That's the problem. Is that when you start punishing yourself, fucker. When you start punishing yourself, your body goes into stress mode. You don't want to create stress for your body. The whole point about getting into shape, losing weight, and being healthier is to reduce the amount of stress that you endure, or to endure more stress, or endure the stress better. It's kind of like like any kind of training. But going through brutal boot camp levels of excessive beatings, morale will not increase as long as the beatings continue. That's the kind of the sarcasm. The beatings will continue until morale has improved. That's kind of the big joke there. Um, and that's not how I've ever been. Um, I remember growing up in grade school, my teachers always saying, "Nothing worth having isn't worth working hard for." And I'm going, yeah, I agree. I want to get an A on my report cards because that means then I can go to the toy store, and get cool things. That was my only incentive to getting good grades. And somewhere along the line, around fourth or fifth grade, I realized just how fun it was to learn new things. And I started going off and exploring well beyond my curriculum, um, which, of course, distracted me completely. Ooh, did we not get this? Did this fail? Did we actually fail? That was too quick. No, we got stuff. Probably didn't get too much. Let's see what we got here. Bump in the night. Alright, now we go chasing for... do I have my ghost on? Yes, okay. Now we go chasing for the chests. So, yeah, and as I got older and realized just how much more valuable my time is, and realizing that at a certain point, it doesn't matter how hard you work at something, you're not going to get it. You might not ever get it. Um, like, oh, Jesus Christ. For fuck's sake. Really? So, man, that was... See, that's what I'm talking about. There's just so much player hate in this game. And I don't know if it's because I'm an older player, because Destiny doesn't want older players. They don't want people investing um, years into their game. They want the game to play. They want you to play the game, but they don't want older players. They want newer players. They like newer players. Games like Destiny now, the new model Destiny, they want the players who sign on for 3 months and then get bored and piss off. And I don't really think that's a good thing for this game. I think that having invested and vetted players makes this game stronger. But the problem is that it will hold uh, the game studio to a higher standard, and I think that's where the conflicts come in. Is because they are going for the least amount of effort for the maximum amount of gain, and that's just business. I understand that. What was I getting to? Oh yeah. Let's see what we got here. I have to go somewhere. Scoring in the royal pools. That's upstairs. So we are going to go. I think we go this way, right? Yeah, we go this way. As usual, about a week before the season ends, I finally get used to the seasonal area, and then it's like, eh. Um, so yeah, about the weapon patterns, I've decided that I'm not chasing them. I'm doing the reputation for the helm, uh, only because it's something to do. I mean, honestly, I could just come in here, run through the Cosmodrome, Stock 13 area, fuck everything up, and then peace out and be happy with my experience. Um, because I just finished my first Ironsworn game or campaign. I won't say it's a campaign really. It's the first of many campaigns because the character didn't die. There were a couple of moments where it was really dodgy, um, but yeah. And at the end, playing of course by the rules because I am that kind of a person. I like having game rules. I like having game mechanics that make sense and are consistent. That's my thing. That's why I like tabletop RPGs because the mechanics are consistent. Yay! I got something. I don't have classy restoration. I'm just focusing on buffing my resilience because I don't know what kind of healing buff we're going to get in next season. So I'm practicing. I'm training myself right now back to the mid to long range engagement style, which is why shotguns are not going to be a fucking thing for me. Um, bringing it back to the Ragnild is the only weapon so far that I felt is actually have any worth in my game that I don't already have on stock. Um, for some reason, Night Watch seems to be punching just a little bit softer, and I think that might be because of explosive payload. I'm not sure if there's been a nerf to explosive payload. I hope there isn't a nerf happening because I don't need a rocket launcher. I already got a rocket launcher. Um, I hope there isn't happening like that because I don't want the full moons. I want more of these metal mantles. Um, because because next season I am damn sure that we are going to be working with a lot of area of effect kind of abilities, just like we did here with Scorch and everything like that. But yeah, so I'm leveling the sweets. The Sweet Sorrow is a 720, but do I really need it? I have the Gnawing Hunger, and honestly, it was a good build, but I just don't. I don't fucking like the fucking feather shooter style of gameplay. Yeah, it's not happening. So I'm just gonna go ahead and feed it uh, to my Gnawing Hunger. Oh, I gotta go. Be right back. In a second, I gotta log this in. Wow, man. Yeah, after taking that rubber band out of my hair, headache is starting to go away a little bit. Of course, it could also be the ibuprofen and the fact that I'm drinking water now instead of coffee. Phone is being weird. Fuck it, I misspelled it, but I did get the idea. Anyway, so yeah, let's do some more range on this. I got a really good roll with this. Tap the trigger, grants a short period of increased stability and accuracy on initial trigger pull. Doesn't matter if I'm ADS or hipfire. I like this. But I went ahead with targeting adjuster anyway, although I think, honestly, if I'm going to hip file, um, I think actually putting it in a major spec would be a good idea because we're down here. So we have auto rifles going off. Yeah, so like I said, the Raghild is, it's there because it's good. I mean, that's a good impact. Not sure what the peace of mind's really doing. Honestly, I don't really need it. I honestly really don't need the peace of mind. Um, I crafted it. It's okay, but as a pulse rifle, it's kind of underperforming versus the blue versus red battler, or blue and red battler. Uh, don't really care about the Callus mini tool. It's not going to be any better than it's really not going to be any better than my Hero's Burden. I have to be honest about that. And there we go. We're right back to it. I think the only standouts right now with your weapons, because I've yet to find one that's dropped with the perks I want. I want subsistence and demolitionist, and I like the hockey breach armaments. Um, because vehicles, turrets, barricades, and stasis crystals. Well, I guess. Until I find a better shotgun, this is what I'm running with. Um, yeah, nothing else. Yeah, and until I find a better glaive, this is what I'm running with. So yeah, it really is. It's kind of sad, but I'm right back to where I was before the season started, before last season even started, because there aren't any craftables that I really feel are worth it. Not even that shotgun. Because I'll be honest, I'd much rather have a Fell Winter's Lie with with full choke and I don't know what else it can come with. Let me see what's in my inventory that I have that I can bring into the play here. Anyway, so while I'm fucking with this, I'll talk about my Ironsworn game. So basically, what I started off with is I had a character who was an Iron Priest. God, yes, thank you so much. Um, sorry. Um, fuck, dudes. I only need one person to approve it. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. Um, let's get on here. So I created a character who was a soldier in the early settling war, or colonization war. Basically, it was just taming of the land, the river lands that they settled into when they came to the Ironlands. Um, I'm not going to go into the details about what Ironlands is. It's an RPG because you can look it up online. There's much better. There are many better videos about it. I'm just talking about my game in particular. So, here we go. Thoughtless, the sniper rifle. That's the only other craftable that has actually proven to be really fun to play with and under your skin. Okay, there we go. We're getting there. Um, so when it comes to when it came to the game, okay, so the character started off as being a soldier during the Settler Wars, and he was very young at that time. And then, you know, after seeing the horrors of man versus monsters, because there were lots of monsters in the land when they arrived, and I'm talking like not like trolls and ogres kind of stuff. I'm talking like cosmic fucking level horror monsters. That my world has holes in it where eldritch horrors, because everybody has to have an eldritch horror, uh, where eldritch horrors, seep through um, the veil and wreak havoc on the land. And so the the settlements, the circles as they're called in Ironsworn, were formed up around these pillars of iron-like material. They're not. It's not real iron because you can't smelt it, you can't carve it, you can't shape it. They're like these obelisks, and they're all different kinds of shapes. Uh, they're not like like obelisks, like the Egyptian style obelisks. They're not very tall either. They're about 10 feet to 12 feet tall on average. Um, there's and they're rooted really heavy, really deep into the ground too. It's just kind of like if you want to imagine like somebody taking a half a mile. Well, no one's ever dug down in the game. In my game world, no one's ever dug more than say 30, 40 feet below to try to see if they could extract the obelisks. Um, but they are deep in there, and but some of this bizarre iron has been shaped into a variety of relics, and they're indiscernible as far as their objects. If you think about it in terms of Destiny, it'd be like those little spiral thingies that you see during the containment process, where the Cabal Centurion gets shielded by them. They look kind of. They can be looking. They can look like that. They could look like. They look like object d'arts, paperweights. They could be as small as a helmet, or as large as a dog. Um, and it's unclear as to if these are part of the actual iron pillars that dot the land around which the humans have made their settlements. But the humans aren't the only ones making their settlements around these objects. Um, the firstborn, the elves, uh, do it as well. And then I haven't decided yet, but there's rumor that there may even be a third race. I'm thinking about bringing in dwarves, uh, or gnomes, or wee people in general. Um, Maybe not halflings, or hobbits, if you want to be like that. Um, but something that is diminutive in scale. So maybe like a Gelfling kind of character or something. I really dig the Dark Crystal, and I have a lot of fun uh, reading those stories because there's a lot of stories for them now. But anyway, so what turns out that he became an Iron Priest, and what the Iron Priests are, they're kind of like advisors, and they're like second in command or co-commands, co-chiefs of the settlements. Chiefs of the settlement, the leaders of the settlements are called overseers in the game, but I call them thanes. And so there is so this character of mine is the iron was an iron priest of this one settlement, and and then eventually, became disenchanted with the whole idea because there were certain things that were happening around the ritualization. He felt it was wrong. He felt that the ongoing ritualization of prayer and worship to these objects wasn't really what the Iron Priests were first set out to do. The Iron Priests were first established to try to understand the objects and learn of its mystic powers and how those things can be used to protect the human settlements. And you know, because there are still monsters in the wilds. They still attack the settlements. Don't forget, this was once their lands. They hunted on these lands. They foraged on these lands. They bred on these lands, and so these beasts still have that instinct, that ancestral memory that these lands are theirs. Ooh, we have things we can kill in here. This is sometimes fun. Hi. I hate these shieldies, because this is what happens. So, let me go on here. So basically he became a warden. He figured he could serve the community better as a warden because he no longer had the faith to lead them as a spiritual leader, because he doubted uh, the purpose of the Iron Priests. But he still held to his beliefs. He still followed the heart, which is one of the deities that they have, that came with them, if you want to say it that way. Um, Mysticism and magic in this world is very weird and open, and I like that because I like having mysticism and magic kind of connected in my D&D games. It was the big thing. Pretty much the only people that were ever actually casting spells or doing any magic were the clerics. Um, and come on, die. Come on, dude. You know you want to go. You know you want to go. You know you want to go. Come on, just to give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Come on. Come on. Come on. Do it. 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 Yes. We did it. That was the best one ever. Swords for the fucking win, my friends. And we got crap. I was hoping for a pattern, but whatever. In any case, so um, yeah, and that character, believe it or not, is based a lot upon my experience with the game of Destiny. I mean, for a long time, I wasn't just drinking the Kool-Aid; I was selling it. I was giving it away. Um, but I've since been like, you know what? Maybe take it easy a little bit on that because it could rot your teeth. Um, and I need to go find a safe space so I can take a look at what's going on with my bounties because I think I'm a little bit off key here. So anyway, he becomes a warden, and the game opens up with him being a warden, and talking with his thane, and his thane says, you can still be the Iron Priest and be a warden. It's nothing in the doctrine that says you can't. And of course, my character's like, I really think I should focus on just being a warden, and then but I still observe uh, connections in private, and so the thane is the only person who knows. Damn it, that my character was still practicing his Iron Priest rituals, but more of a personal nature. So kind of like taking prayer out of the church and making it become something that is intimate and personal, and not necessarily private or like in a shameful way, but like kind of like making it something of your own kind of situation. You know, you've been given the recipe to make this thing, but now you want to tweak the recipe a little bit to tailor your own palate, so to speak, or to suit or to fulfill the needs that you have. And I know a lot of people might argue that in terms of spirituality, there's a reason why the doctrine is set the way it is. So it creates this particular type of behavior, so it reinforces this particular type of mindset, and it establishes this particular type of community, because that's all religion really is just a way for everybody to gather together under a unified purpose. And in that strength of unity, you have no more competition, because it's if you break it all down biologically, it all comes down to competition for resources, which can be anything from food and fluids, nutrients and fluids, and shelter and protection from the elements, more or less, and breeding, being able to pass on your genetics kind of situation, or pass on your culture, which is basically your spiritual and intellectual genetics. Um, so basically, yeah. So this guy, the game opens up with him being a warden, and then somebody from one of the northern villages stumbles into town and is saying that the elves are attacking. They've bandit. Actually, it was bandits. Monsters are attacking my settlement. I need help right away. Please come. So my character was there's three wardens in the village. One of them went south with the merchants to guard them, to protect them on the river run down to the port. The third one is out being an emissary to another settlement that we are close allies with. And my character was the only one there. That's how I set it up. Because in Ironsworn, you are the dungeon master and the player as well. So you can have choices made on the dice from the dungeon master, like, well, my character wants to say for instance, my character wants to bust down the door and attack the goblins. uh, you would roll your strength, roll versus iron to break down the door, and then roll versus edge to fight the goblins, and then you would roll on the tables as the dungeon master, because you're playing the part of the player at this point, as to what the goblins are going to do to you. And then in other instances, you as the game master or the GM might decide to take over and say, okay, well, now I need to operate some things in the background. So then you roll on the tables to see what the player would choose to do. And of course, adjust accordingly based upon the player's perspectives and personality and play styles. But anyway, so he goes out, investigates, and come to find out that it looks like it's bandits attacking. Well, the person who brought him up there wasn't entirely truthful. She was just trying to get somebody to come up, and she was like really, really adamant about, well, maybe we should wait for you should send word to the other wardens and gather some men with swords, because this is a really terrible thing that's happening up there. It turns out that as we get closer, and it's obvious it's just going to be me, my character, she begins to go ahead and say, well, maybe it wasn't monsters, maybe it was bandits disguised as monsters. They looked like men. They moved like men. No, they moved like men, but they were not men. So I'm starting to get suspicious here. So then we finally get to the village, and it is just decimated. It is just destroyed. It's razed to the ground. Things are still burning and smoking. Uh, there's practically nobody there, and she's freaking out, and she runs towards this wood storage area and starts pulling logs away, and this hand thrusts up between the logs, and it's holding a knife, and she cries out, and it's her brother that she hid in the wood pile, basically, to make sure that he would be protected from, because she didn't have time to carry him out. He had sprained an ankle or something like that, and wasn't able to run on his own, and if she was going to go to get help, she needed to move quickly and had to hide him, so she hid him. And of course, whatever attacked the village is long gone. But it's from the brother's mouth that my character learns that it was the elves. And at this point, he turns on the woman and says, "I don't understand. Why would you lie to me about this? Why wouldn't you say that the elves were attacking? Because the elves and the humans on the river and the river have been allies, have been peaceful with each other for generations. It's been at least 3 generations since we've come here, and we've never had any bad relationships with the elves. We actually helped them recover much of their land when we were fighting against the monsters of this area. And then, goes on with this little diatribe kind of situation, admonishing her for being deceptive. And then it's revealed that the reason why the elves were attacking the village is that because some of the villagers' hunters apparently had stolen something sacred to the elves, a piece of that sacred iron that I mentioned earlier. So then the quest begins. Collect, find the humans responsible for the theft, and if they still have that sacred iron, have it returned to the elves to avoid further conflict. Because the last thing the humans want to have is a fight with the ancient firstborn, because they won't fucking win that war. It's just the elves will have magic. Having been on this land and having been part of the Iron Pillars, the Sacred Iron as they call it, for far longer than humans have, being attuned to its magics and being able to control its powers. So this is kind of what the overarching quest of my character was, is that he wanted to find himself a new truth, and that new truth would be to learn more about what the sacred iron is. And in order for him to have done that, he discovers that, well, the elves know about all of this, and they actually have sacred iron, which is known. Um, and now this is my chance to do something right in the land, stop, prevent the growing hostilities between these two peoples, and basically the grand adventure. It's one part politics, one part uh, traveling, adventure, and then a little dash of just basic, hack and slash, dungeon crawl, hex crawl kind of stuff, because I'll be going into the deep wilds. So yeah, along the way, so the woman, says, "I'll leave my brother with you. Please see to that he gets back to your settlement and make sure he's protected." And she's going to go off and try to find other help to track down the humans that stole from her, because this is the reason. And come to find out what had happened while she was traveling downriver towards my character's village, the warden from that nearby village, which had the emissary with them, had shown up and was escorting a bunch of the survivors of the attack back to his village, his circle. So it was pretty cool. So I teamed up with that character, and then they got attacked by bandits, which had almost nothing really to do at first with the whole poachers taking the sacred iron, but come to find out that these bandits were actually hired by the elves to hunt down the poachers. And because the three of us, this other warden and this boy and my character, looked like hunters, because we you know humans kind of dress all the same in this world. It doesn't. There's no real like uniform for wardens and stuff. You wear what is going to be most effective uh, for your duties. So they mistook us for the hunters, and they came after us, which of course pushed us into the deep wilds where the elves live. It's a region in the Ironsworn lands, and yeah, I was basically played a lot of sessions with that idea, trying to track the hunters at the same time avoid being murdered by these mercenaries hired by the elves. And I nearly lost my character a few times. It was pretty sketchy. So, like I said, this Ironsworn is not a very light game. It is, the dice can turn on your ass quite viciously. But there are mechanics that you can do that actually give you a little bit more of an edge. Like, you can secure advantage, or you can, use compel moves. And it's fluid in what you choose, but then what you choose to use as your stat bump, as your roll modifier, will affect the outcome, both positively and more oftenly negatively as well. So it's like, say, for instance, if I try to compel somebody using my wits and I fail, I could be branded as a liar. If I try to compel someone using my heart, and I fail, I could be, you know, I might be allowed to go ahead and make another attempt because all I'm doing is trying to negotiate with them and see and compel them with the passion of my belief that what I'm asking for is true and just and justifiably doable. Um, and then again, if I try to compel with my iron, in other words, I try to intimidate them with a strong arm and I fail, they could come at me with a fight on their mind, that kind of situation. So, like I said, the game allows you to be flexible with your modifier sources, but it encourages you to also be fair with success and failures as well. And that's the real big thing is that the game is really an honesty test. But in the end, it's your game. You know, you play what you want. So after some stumbling around in the deep wilds, the group comes across a patrol of warrior elves, their versions of wardens. And did I already complete my sword attack thingies? Yes, I did. Now we're back to trace rifle. And yeah, so after a couple of tense turns of negotiating, I was able to convince. I learned that it was the commander of the Elven Guard, the Elf Guard, that was actually on this patrol, and I was speaking with a person of authority. So, and I did make that as a role. I asked. The game has an oracle system. Uh, where it's all in percentiles, like, you know, very likely, unlikely, not likely, and nearly improbable. Um, Very improbable kind of situation. But I do a different oracle system. So on my oracle system, I rolled and I said, "Is this person a person of authority?" And it said, it gave me an extreme yes. And so I just interpreted that as being shit. This is the actual commander of the Elf Guard, and they're taking things seriously here now. So, come to find out, the elves did not kill any of the villagers. They captured as many as they could. What ran away, they allowed to run away. They let run away, um, and uh, and it was like because they don't want hostilities. They don't want to have an open war with the humans either. Come to find out, the elves don't see any benefit in fighting with the humans, especially since it was the humans and the elves alliance against the monsters that, you know, helped solidify and stabilize what was quickly becoming a very very risky situation for the elves along the riverlands. Um, Simply because there's something happening in the deep wilds that is gradually pushing the elves out, and that's going to be the next adventure. Um, but for now, you know, I was able to. My character was. I said I because I got into the game. Damn it! My character was able to influence the commander of the Elf Guard. I don't care. I don't need it. I don't need any more deep sight resonance. I'm not crafting anything else. Oh look. Oh. Yep. See, there you go. The crafted version is objectively better. There, proven. Going back there, but again, you know, but I'm in comparing to what I already have, though. If I get another shotgun that's better than this, I'm keeping that one. That's all there is to it. That's the way it works. Um, and yeah, I know. I said, well, you know, I'll go ahead and keep the crafted weapons that I had. I'm segueing here a little bit. Sorry. Um, I did say that I was going to I was going to go ahead and keep the crafted weapons in the vault that I made because, you know, never know, the perks could change and, you know, there could be good things coming our way, or, you know, or the loot tables might shift and whatever else. But it seems like the game wants you to be in the raid to get the raid patterns because those are the weapons that everyone keeps gushing about and wetting their panties over. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, that's cool. I'm good. I don't need those kinds of weapons for the shit that I'm doing. That's the point. I mean, if I was racing cars, first of all, I wouldn't be here. But if I was a race car driver and just a driver, that means that people provided me with the race cars, I would be buying things in my world that would promote my athleticism. You know, I'd be working out, I'd be doing endurance trainings, I'd be doing, um, you know, track runs and trying to, you know, tighten up my times and my laps and everything. You know, I'd be training for that. But I don't do that. I'm not a race car driver. I'm an artist and a poet. So I read a lot, I sketch a lot, I look at other people's work, and I study a lot of art techniques and poetry and literature techniques. My poetry is not just rhyming shit from line to line or every other line or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know the difference between the different forms of poetry. I go with what feels good. So there is some rhyming in it, but there's also a lot of narrative in it. I mean, my poetry is more like what Shakespeare wrote. So I guess that's the ionic pentameter or ironic pandemic. No, pen, I can't remember the word now. Pedantic. There we go. Ironic pedantic. Anyways, so yeah, so when it comes to the weaponry choice, I don't chase those adepts and pinnacles and all that crap because the content I do doesn't require it. You know, it's would it make my job? Would it make my experience a little bit smoother here? Yeah, but I mean, do I want God mode? No, I want a challenge. Back to that. Yay, Deathless Sidearm Streak. We got this. We're doing this. Oh, here we go. Now you can see why I use the weapons I use, because I've worked to get these the way they are. I cannot tell you how many rounds of Gambit I have played and how many gnawing hungers I've had in my hands before finally getting the gnawing hunger that mattered. You know, that's the thing. So anyway, so the elves are kind of like, they're like, okay, well, we're interested in helping you because you're interested in helping us. So we're going to, this is a mutual benefit to find these, ne'er do wells and secure the sacred iron. And so my character, because I am playing my character, one of the first things I want to do as a player is to go back to the scene of the crime. Where was the sacred iron stored? Is it someplace that a human can visit? Because obviously it's not very well guarded, because these poachers were able to sneak into this area and found this relic, and I mean, it wasn't even that deep into the deep wilds. It wasn't even that far into the forest. So we finally get there, and uh, and through some skill checks and some oracle rolls, my character finds out. And because also, don't forget, he's still an Iron Priest and still practicing some of that mysticism. Through those efforts, through that connection to the magics of the world, he was able to learn that the poachers never left. They were always there. That whatever showed up at the village, that however which way the elves were able to track them to the village, was a false. That only one of their number, who had been come in contact with the sacred iron, had actually gone back to their settlement in an attempt to get more people to come back with them to move the iron, because they couldn't move it. They could not. It would not allow them to leave. It only allowed the one person to leave because he was the only person who didn't go into the hall or the barrow. Um, so he was that one person, or was able to actually get back to their settlement and request help. But by that time, you know, alarms had gone off, and the elves were aware that somebody had trespassed and was trying to steal their sacred iron, and tracked that person back to the village. Um, and in that exchange, this is what the Thanes found out, that the boy and the girl were actually the children of the Thane. Forgot to mention that. My character learned that because he was able to compel them to divulge all that they knew, and of course, through their description of what happened, it became clear that they were in the actual Thane Hall when the emissaries of the elves came demanding that they return their sacred iron, and that there be justice served upon those who stole it. And of course, the Thane of the settlement, he was innocent. He didn't know what the fuck was happening. It's like, I tell you, there's nobody in my settlement that would do such a thing. That is horrendous. Uh, and but I'm telling you, there's no such relic here. I know my village, and there is no such relic here. And the emissaries, of course, the smell of our iron is upon you and upon this village. Um, and if you will not, return it, then we will, take your village hostage. And the Thane, blew up, lost his shit, lost his cool, ordered the emissaries to leave, and then somehow or another, the aggression escalated, and there was a scuffle, and in the fight, the Thane got killed. And it was unsure because the son of the Thane, who watched his father get stabbed, uh, couldn't make out if it was an elf or a man that did it. All he saw was the flash of blade through the air, and what the hell are you doing, man? Oh fuck! I was being shot by this motherfucker and that motherfucker back there. So yeah, long story short, well, really, Ghost, fucking coward. Um, long story short. Oh, by the way, that probably fucked my whole deathless auto rifle. Yeah. No. Oh no. No. I just. What the fuck? Okay, so then we have supers and glaive trace rifles. Okay, so we're back to that. Anyway, yes, you're so badass. So tanky ass monsters. So anyway, back at the barrow where the sacred iron is, it became apparent that something about the iron was holding the men there, that they couldn't leave. They felt like they needed to stay there, and and then of course, the elf guard commander was saying this is why we guard it so much, is because something is changing the iron in the deep wilds. It's it's demanding, um, to be protected, and so it was weird. It's kind of like, uh, it's not a plot point that I explored completely in this scenario, but in the back of my notes, which is AKA the back of my mind, um, I'm thinking that this particular piece of sacred iron, this particular piece of iron, had somehow or another possessed the poachers, uh, and had literally had sent, had persuaded or influenced the one hunter to not enter the barrow, um, to go and bring more, people to it. Kind of a weird, like it was, like maybe it was like an entity that needed, that wanted to have followers or to have people around it or something like that, or it was some kind of way to possess them or control them in some way. But anyway, so the hunters inside, couldn't be reasoned with. They charged out. There was a fight. They got killed. Uh, the Thane's son, you know, wanted to make sure that that relations between the elves and the humans wouldn't deteriorate any further than this. This was terrible. That obviously the iron in that barrow was cursed. There's no way to destroy this iron that they know of yet. So they close up the barrow and put some warding sigils on it, encouraging others to not go inside, making it very clear, warning, evil things inside, do not open. And that's kind of like the oversimplification of what I, what I played out in the game. And it was actually really, I hate to say it, it was far more satisfying than what I'm doing here. Um, and I was like, I'm pretty excited to get back into another session. And there are a couple channels out there that do live play or let's play, um, of solo RPGs. There is, of course, me, myself, and Die. There's Kill 10 Rats, and there's the solo role player. I don't think I have his name right. I don't have my classy restoration on, so I got to be careful about this. We're going to summon this beastie and see if we can just wipe everything out. Just go in deep and hard. Just smash, 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 bang. Smash, smash. Oh, fuck. I wasn't able to scoot away. What the fuck? I hate when the game fucking strings me like that. That is so BS. And I lose my fucking... Oh, crap. No, fuck you. Oh, no, no, no. See, I can take my time on your ass. I don't need you. You are the only thing that matters. Damn it. Fuck, too many enemies. I should be able to fucking asininely take these assholes out. That's 1660, right? Oh, ambush boy? No. Who's a fuck boy? Come on. Hey, 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 hey. You're not taken. You're not supposed to do that. I clear these ads, but I gotta go quick because otherwise things get crappy. Come on. We got another one, huh? Fuck, I can't get to him. I don't know how many seconds I have left. I already have a key? What the fuck? Well, that might be explaining a lot. Just gotta stun him down. Get the kill. Come on, get the kill. Get the kill. God damn it. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. I don't want to lose it. Come on. There's. Got you. Fucking win this every single time. None at all. Just want something good. Okay, so I didn't know I had a key on me. Like I wasn't even paying attention to that. Where are we going? Royal Pools, the greatness, groovy. Oh, that's easy enough. Maybe it's actually this way? No? Okay, wait. I want you out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. You're dead already. Go fucking die. Come on. Just have the fucking courtesy to go away. Whatever. Not gonna deal with it. Where is the fucking feat of greatness? I think this is it, right? So, where is the fucking feat of greatness? I think this is it, right? So, I already have one of those crafted, don't I? Yeah, so that's just going to be a deep sight. Fuck. Okay, well, there's another key at least. Where are we going now? Gardens. Yay, Marvin's Gardens. I know the shortcut. So, anyway, Ironsworn, if you want to pick it up, the PDF, if you're cool with just playing with a PDF, it's free. You know, just go look it up on Drive Through RPG PDF, and I actually bought the physical books because I like physical books. I don't always like to have the internet going or you know having to read from a screen for a long period of time because it kind of hurts my eyes, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm staring. Yeah, that's probably why I also have a headache because I'm staring at this shit all morning. But yeah, that's about all I wanted to really share. Yeah, let's go see what we get off this key and try to finish up the rest of this farming. Deathless solar abilities, which is not going to happen. Glaive and shotgun. Good job. Okay, so glaive and shotgun. So we have glaive and we have shotgun, which means now, guess what? Now we go through glaive ammo. Do I want to split it? Do I really want to split it? Do you really want it? Do you really want to split it up? Don't split the party. I guess we could. Sword reserves. Do glaive reserves? Yeah. And shotgun reserves. I'm hungry again. Jeez. Maybe that's the real problem. Maybe I'm just fucking starving. I think shotgun scavenger is probably going to be more important. I don't know how that happened. I went too far. Alright. Okay. So far, resilience has doing okay, but it seems like it's like not really working as much as I'd want it to. Oh, fudge. Where are we at? Among the ruins. Okay, it's down here, is it? No, that's the loyal companion. That's the ruins. Sorry. Nope, that's not the ruins. Ooh, cool. We have ammo. There's the ruins. I think this is it over here. Yep, that's it. Oh, cool. There's a chest above. Oh, we got a pattern. Hopefully. Oh, that's the beloved. Huh. I did say that if I get a better sniper rifle, I would do it, but unknown. Anyway, well, that was fun. I guess the resilience is working a little better than I thought it would. I really do try making builds that don't depend upon the seasonal aspect of things. Oh, funnel lead, gross. Yeah, deep site resonance. Because I already built this. And now this is going to be a pattern for something I'm probably not going to use because I already have a sniper rifle. You know, thoughtless. But I guess everybody likes the beloved a lot more, so we'll see. Uh, Fuck, how long has it been since I've been streaming this? Oh shit, we're coming up on an hour. You know what? I'm gonna stop the stream because I don't want to go over an hour because it seems like most people don't even bother looking at them anyway. But I'm gonna say thanks for stopping by. Again, if you've got some time on your hands and you like RPGs, real role playing games, um, Ironsworn takes a little bit of time to get used to because it's not like your classic RPG. You do have to get familiar with the idea that you're gonna have you'll have the opportunity to really fudge a lot, and it's perfectly okay because it is your game and it's how you're gonna have fun, and it's like playing Let's Pretend with a little bit of rules, a little bit of mechanics behind it, some consistency, or the acceptance that you're not always going to win. Um, and yeah, I'd say go ahead and do some exploration on that. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I am going to finish this up and get the fuck out of here.